Monday morning, here we are. Starting off with this old boy right here. Pretty good stick of wood. There's another one just like it right out here. There's actually a few of them out through here. That really surprised me when I was, see there's that other one right there in the middle. Got a limb up there about 20 feet or so, but still, big set of trees. You run all down through here. Let's, excuse me. Let's see how the day starts with this one. That's a pig there. It's a big old crotch tree. The other piece of it's right there. A lot of footage in that old guy. He's about outside there. I can't get very good footage. Summer. It's not even horribly hot today, but the humidity's terrible. To me, it's hot. It might as well be 100 degrees. I think it's in the low 80s, but yeah, it might as well be 100 to me. Another big one here, getting ready to come down. Everything's been cutting pretty good so far. We cut one that had just a little bit of a bad spot. We'll take a look at those later. We've had to pull one tree from the roadway. Had some neighbors kind of enjoying the show there, spectating us. A whole bunch of them, actually. I looked over first and seen one person. Next time I looked over, there was 5 or 6, and coming right down easy. Just textbook stuff. No problems. No challenges there. Just we put a choker in the top of it, put a notch, board and back cut, down she come. But this one here, I'm gonna try to put this one out in here. Fence over here, I don't think it's wanting to go that way though. I started cutting into a double tree back here. It's just kind of standing there. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to sneak back here ever so gently in the skidder. We're going to give it a little persuasion to get it to go where we want it to go. And I've got part of the crotch cut there. That way hopefully it'll pop right down the middle when it hits the ground. Let's see what we can do here. We'll get on this side of it. Much if anything holding it. Yeah, right there. There wasn't much. I know it's hard to see. I hate logging this time of year. It didn't pop it like I wanted to, but that's alright. There's just kind of balance there. I knew there wasn't a whole lot holding it. Like it might have been a little bit on that side over there. But yeah, I hate logging this time of year. I started out down here this morning, cutting in this creek bottom. And the grass and the weeds are so thick you can't hardly walk. So then I thought, why am I working so hard? So I kind of got this skidder and started pushing roads out to everything. It's hot. I don't like working any harder than I have to. Yeah, that makes me wonder how many hoses might have been replaced on this thing, and yeah, if they didn't do a very good job of crimping them, if they crimped them in-house or something. Right. Lost all of our oil in a hurry.
Yeah. One reason your steering is totally shot.
Well,
it had no chance.
Yeah, Kenny said he heard a pop when he was running it, and of course that makes sense. It blew off there and popped like that. These are always fun to cut. Talk about a hard lean. They don't get much harder than that. A lot of footage there. We don't want to leave it next to these two really good trees here. There's a couple pigs there. Oh, we might as well start with this one. we'll go through some of these logs real quick, some of these big ones here. Like I told Dad, I probably gave way too much for this job, and it's kind of starting to come to light now. We can kind of see the end of the trees, but it's not too often you come across a set of trees like this, and I wanted to cut them. Said I know I gave too much for them. I told Dad I gave too much for them, but I wanted to cut them. So I'll show you what we're looking at. We'll just start down here at the lower end. And some of this, like right there, that's just the top log. That's a limb that I tried to salvage out of this piece. That's a big piece of wood right there. Where Dad's got it bucked there, it'll be probably 22, 23 inches. A lot of rough lumber at the top. Then you got this guy here. These things don't have any worm at all. Thin sapped, bark slipping a little bit. Some boo-boo on my fault there. I didn't get enough of that spur clip before I fill it, but didn't hurt it too bad. 2 good cuts in that. Same with this. Another big piece of wood here. Thin sapped, no worm, bird peck. Gosh, there's some kind of pollen or something here. Top logs, this beast. That is about the prettiest thing. I mean, that is just beautiful. Thin sap. We've got the first log at a 20 foot, 26 inches. That's what we've got this one at. It's a toad. Clean as a pin. We could probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't pull 28 right here if we cut it at 10 foot, but we'll just leave it long. There. Heck of a piece of wood. A lot of material on the top of it. These 2 logs here can you drag out from the top. This one here is a good tree. The one I'm standing on is a pretty good size tree, but compared to the others, it don't even look that big. I just can't get over how thin sap these things are. But these were growing up here in the hills in that tract of timber, right along the highway. Whereas down there on the creek, we're starting to see a little sappier stuff. Now I'm cutting some good stuff down there too, but nothing like this. They're just an uncommonly big set of logs. This one here's got a bad spot over here, but it's still cut off good in the butt. That's what surprised me on it. Pretty. This one here's got just a little spot right there. Little dry rot starting. Good trees. There's a beast. Thing's gonna go probably 26 inches there. Big trees. Good, clean second cut. I think we'll just leave this thing, make a double out of it. Looks like Dad's got double 12s there. We'll leave it at 24 foot. A lot of lumber in the top. Oh, another hot one. So, little clip from this morning. That line blew, which whoever had this machine before we did, I don't know if they replaced a bunch of hoses, and if they did it in-house, they didn't do a very good job of getting the lines crimped, because that's the second or third hose we've found now that we've had a hydraulic leak from the hose not being crimped tight to the fitting. And in the case of that one on the steering cylinder, we lost all of our fluid really fast. Like Kenny said, just in a matter of seconds, there was no steering. And rightly so, when the hose comes clear off the fitting, and it's just dumping oil out of the steering valve. Then I'd noticed the other day a kind of a high frequency vibration. And I got it out here and I asked Benny, I said, Benny, look at this, feel this. And he got to looking around. The bearings and I'm gonna tell you this wrong, the fan shaft bearings on the engine that run the cooling fan, they're about to go out. So we ordered those. It's a relatively cheap fix. We're doing a pulley, the housing, the belt, something else. I'm not a mechanic, you guys know that. But the parts from Murphy and Springfield, our Deere dealer, was like $350. So that's a cheap breakdown. Hopefully that'll be back up and going tomorrow, but we got to take the whole, we got to disconnect the limb raisers, take the front hood off, the exhaust. So it's just kind of a deal. It takes longer to do the prep work to get ready to do it than it does to actually fix it. Got the Star down here. We're going to take a load in. Kenny's up there hooking up the brush grapple to the skid steer because I still haven't went and picked up the new forks yet. And he's going to feed me logs. You got devils like this thing right here. It only makes sense to split that and gain footage. It doesn't make sense to cut it off up here and have a 3.5 or 4 foot crotch piece that you can't hardly get rid of anymore. Guys, that gun market's all but dead. That was a big deal. Once upon a time, I can remember when I was a kid selling gun logs. Those gun logs are now better off in a tabletop grade log if you can find them big enough. Same with this stuff here. You're better off because these are relatively clean logs and it's not going to be double hearted there since we're splitting it. Be a 3-sided low grade veneer at best on that. This here is probably just a lumber. It's pretty clean. We might be able to get a little export log out of it, but you're better off just splitting them. So I've got that split most of the way. Kenny will just push with the skid steer, which here he comes right now. He's going to move some logs around and I'm going to get pointed in the go out direction. We're going to load up, then we are going to run down to Murphy and get parts.